It's been almost a week since the disappearance of Nancy Guthrie. Her family renewing the plea for her potential captors to reach out after several purported ransom notes were received.
This is Cameron Guthrie. I'm speaking for the Guthrie family. Whoever is out there holding our mother, we want to hear from you. We haven't heard anything directly. We need you to reach out, and we need a way to communicate with you so we can move forward. But first, we have to know that you have our mom. We want to talk to you, and we are waiting for contact.
The video was posted hours after police say they believe Guthrie to still be alive. Ransom notes that were sent to several media outlets are also being investigated. The investigation is being conducted alongside the FBI, which has issued a $50,000 reward for information on the case. Officials say Guthrie was last seen on January 31st, having dinner with family before being dropped off back home. She was reported missing the next day. With me now is Ken Gray, former FBI agent. Thank you very much for being here, sir.
Hi, Renee. Good to be with you.
So what do you make of where investigators are at in this case?
So, this is day 6 in the investigation, and I do not believe that the investigators at this point have focused in on any suspects. The sheriff said the other day that they have no suspects, they have no persons of interest at this time, and that they are still looking at everyone as a potential suspect in the case. And so I think that there are several different avenues being pursued at this point. So far to date, it has not turned up anything. The timeline was put out at the press conference yesterday. It showed that whoever was inside Nancy's house was in there 41 minutes. Why they were in 41 minutes to get her out of the house and being kidnapped is not clear at this point. But again, this investigation is ongoing. But as far as progress, it seems to be somewhat limited at this point.
The first deadline in the apparent ransom note passed yesterday. How seriously would the FBI be taking that?
Oh, absolute seriousness here. The first deadline was when they were supposed to make payments to the Bitcoin address that was provided in the ransom notes, and the promises for the situation to become more dire in the event that they do not meet the second deadline, which is on Monday. So the kidnapper only provided this one communication and said that this would be the only communication, and so is awaiting for that Bitcoin payment. But the family wants to make sure that Nancy is still alive. They're asking for a sign of life, and the kidnapper does not seem to be willing to cooperate with providing such information. Does not intend to have a two-way conversation. They expect to have just a payment to them or else.
Now, police announced a timeline of events yesterday during a media conference. How critical will that be? You mentioned part of it just a couple of minutes ago.
So the timeline is definitely a tool used by all investigations to try to establish what happened when. We know the critical time frame in this investigation started at 1:48 a.m. and that she was out of the residence by 2:28 when her watch disconnected from her pacemaker. So that time frame was when the intruder was inside the house and gathering her up and getting her out of the house. It helps focus in on the time for the police to really focus in on trying to find information, things like street cameras, ring cameras, things like that. That gives them an appropriate time frame to focus in on that. But her house was probably under surveillance sometime before that, and so they can't focus only on those 41 minutes.
All right, we will have to leave it there as this search continues, and we just hope that she is found safe. Ken, thank you very much for being here.
Thank you.
That's Ken Gray, a former FBI agent.